Recording.
Just getting here. You know, we didn't actually talk about how we want to open it, how we want anything like that.
We're just gonna open it naturally, so we're recording already.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, in the future, we're gonna have an opening and a closing. That's something we should do. Probably not something we should be talking about right now.
It's alright, we'll just go with it. Hello, I'm Winston,
I'm Wayne.
and this is the Wendy, Wayne, and Winston show.
There's no Wendy though, not today. Not the first time anyway.
Yeah, eventually we'll have a Wendy. In the meantime, we're here to talk about politics. Because politics are what's popular right now.
Yeah, with all this election bullshit. I feel like I'm acting.
I feel drunk. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I think it was a good idea to get drunk before we shot this. That's brilliant. Well, anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Not just elections. We're talking about elections and race relations, as it has to do with elections, because I feel like that's the most pressing topic at the moment.
Okay, let's forget that's there.
Right.
Okay. What's your take on it? Why Trump supporters? Why people say that? Trump's got this vote. Trump, the Mexicans have Cruz has a Mexican vote. Where's that from? What's your take on that?
It's the powers that be pushing racism. That's what it is, and it doesn't really exist.
What doesn't really exist?
The racism that they're pushing, like, it doesn't really matter to anyone.
And why do you say that? I mean, there's got to be somebody that it matters to, or they wouldn't necessarily bring it up.
If it mattered, then they wouldn't talk about it. Like money, right? They don't talk about money because money matters to everybody. Any candidate was like, I'm going to give everybody $100,000, would automatically get elected because that matters to everyone. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So they're talking about stuff that doesn't matter, and they're trying to make you believe that it matters, like race, right? So, for instance, right? Think about this, in all honesty. Like, if Hillary Clinton, if it were to come out that she had a baby by a black man, an illegitimate baby by a black man, and Donald Trump himself had several black people hanging from a tree in his backyard, that would in no way impact the way I vote. I would still want to know which one of you are raising taxes. Stop trying to distract us with nonsense and tell us who's raising taxes. They're not going to talk about that. They're going to highlight the trees in Donald Trump's yard and Hillary Clinton's baby, even though it's bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, okay. What else you got?
I mean, that's where it starts. You know what I'm saying? It's just all lies. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, I don't like any of the candidates. But I like Trump more than I like anyone else. And I can't stand Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, I understand that. Like I said, I don't think that Hillary would win anyway. Even if it came down to her and Trump, I think Trump would win because we just went through having our first black president. I don't think the country is going to be like, yeah, now let's try our first woman president and see how that works out.
Except for women. Women are probably, for a woman president.
Sure. Yeah, but...
And Clinton supporters, like Bill Clinton supporters, probably support Hillary Clinton.
Think so?
Over Trump, yeah. There's money involved.
That's true. Yeah, whenever there's money involved. It always comes back around to money, doesn't it?
It sure does. But Bernie Sanders, he's not really in the conversation, even though he's still running. I don't like him either.
Why not?
Because he talks about these, like, not so much race, you know what I'm saying? He seems to like black people and, all colors of people, but it's his policies are just crazy to me. Like, he talks about things that don't make any sense, like raising the minimum wage. Like, they keep talking about raising the minimum wage.
Which matters to the little people, I mean...
It doesn't really matter to the little people.
It does to me.
But if they raise the minimum wage, right, this is what people don't understand. If the government takes more of your taxes, where does that money go? If they tax the rich 1% more than they're already taxing them, who gets that money?
Well, not us. I mean, I don't know where you're going with that.
But that's the point, is that if they raise the minimum wage, we spend more, they raise the minimum wage, we spend more money in taxes, it doesn't help the poor people at all.
Well, no. Well, no. I know because it doesn't help the middle class people either.
No, it doesn't help anybody.
So then, who does it help? Why?
it helps. It doesn't help anybody. It's just another one of those bullshit lies like raise. You know what I'm saying? Like raising the minimum wage. The minimum wage is actually raised. It is. Because remember, like in the 90s, the minimum wage was like $5 an hour.
Yeah.
It's like twice that now.
Yeah, which it should have been like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but how has that helped?
What, keeping us down like that? I mean, God, I don't know.
It hasn't helped at all.
It hurts, if anything.
It does hurt. It does hurt. It is going to continue to hurt. It's not raising the minimum wage is not the way to go, and I firmly believe that. As a matter of fact, I personally feel like we need to lower the minimum wage.
No, you would never get that come through.
Theoretically, right? But think about this. Think about this in all honesty. If the minimum wage was 50 cents an hour, and someone was willing to work for 50 cents an hour, right now, I could create jobs. I'm dead serious. Like right now, I have enough money that I can support somebody for 40 hours a week if they're willing to come work for me right now
50 cents an
for
hour.
50 cents an hour. I could probably create like 3 jobs right now. For real. That's honest. That's the truth.
I know, but who thinks like that?
But that's the whole point. Like you see the hats, right? Donald Trump has a hat. Bernie Sanders has a hat in the picture on it, Facebook.
Yeah.
I watch Facebook. So, and these hats, Donald Trump's hat is made in China, and Bernie Sanders' hat is made in America.
Yeah.
You know what that tells me?
What does that tell you?
That Bernie Sanders has made some poor business decisions because that hat that he made in America costs at least $10 an hour to make. That hat made in China probably costs $3 a day and a bag of rice. So, if he's spending my money to make these type of decisions, I want Donald Trump making my decisions just for the fact that he's going to go with the lowest cost of labor and get my hats made for the cheapest price possible, and we'll have a whole bunch of hats. Bernie Sanders is like, we created jobs in America. Yeah, but it costs $10 an hour to create the hats. You really just threw a lot of campaign money away on hats when he could have sent them to China and got them made for real cheap.
To be honest, I don't think they had those hats made, though. Like, they buy those hats and then have their logo put on them. They had no control over where they came from. That's what I think was bullshit about that whole posting, was because it's like, oh, well, look, Trump's were made in China. Trump just happened to fucking, there people say, I want hats. And they said, I've got my 50,000 of them for you. I'll give it to you for $12,000. Boom, I'm going to take that deal. Oh, well, they were made in China.
But the question is, who do you think got the better deal on hats?
Trump did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what it all boils down to. Trump got the better deal.
Yeah.
And then you even add to racism. You know what I'm saying? That very statement right there, that very idea, lets me know that Bernie Sanders is racist. He's the actual racist one in this whole...
Because he wouldn't put little Chinese kids to work.
Exactly. Them Chinese kids deserve jobs just as much as Americans do. Trump's suits made in Mexico, those Mexicans appreciate those jobs, I'm sure of it. I don't even know how anybody can say Trump is not for Mexicans when all of his suits are made in Mexico. He probably puts more Mexicans to work than any candidate in the election.
Did you say his suits?
His suits, he has a suit company.
In Mexico?
They're made in Mexico. It's on the tag. I saw it on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I'm not making this
Trump
up.
suits.
Trump suits are made in Mexico.
Trump suits.
Trump has everything. He's diverse. Suits, hats, hotels,
Scooter
casinos.
country.
I like Trump just for that reason.
Okay.
And I like the fact that he's putting so many people to work. It doesn't matter if they're in China or Mexico or wherever. In this global economy, everybody deserves to go to work. Whoever's willing to work for the lowest price should be able to.
Okay.
That's how I feel about that.
How you feeling?
Still pretty buzzed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that particular topic.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I mean,
I guess we could talk about Easter. I mean, it is Easter.
yeah, it is Easter. And not that I really even noticed. It doesn't matter to me.
Didn't mind the game either. Saw Batman, the Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
I got drunk. I ate a steak.
Did you get drunk before Batman movie?
I got drunk after the Batman movie. You know, even though it was Easter. I feel like that's relevant. I don't know why, but I just feel like that's relevant. I even feel like that's relevant to the election.
Wait, that you got drunk after is relevant to the election?
On some level, I feel like that is relevant to the election. But more specifically, the fact that it's Easter and what's going on at Easter.
What's going on in Easter?
Absolutely.
Go to church.
Exactly. People go to church. That's it.
Yeah, in mass. Yeah, like I was saying yesterday, that's one of the days it's like, nah, really don't, because like there's too many people. Everybody goes on Easter, everybody goes on Christmas.
And Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Really?
Because if your mom invites you to church on Mother's Day, you're going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Father's Day, fathers don't really invite people to church on Father's Day.
Yeah.
They don't, do they? My mom invited me to church. My dad never invited me to church. He has invited me to church, but not on Father's Day. Father's Day is more for like beer and football, I suppose.
Yeah. I guess. But that's what Dad's into.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really wanted to go to church with him, you could ask him Father's Day.
But how many times do fathers ask their people to go to church on Father's Day?
That's what I've ever done.
Yeah, me neither. But mothers ask their people to go to church on Mother's Day.
Yeah. That's manipulation right there.
It is manipulation, which is a whole other topic, female manipulation.
Yeah.
It's off topic. You know what? Even that relates to this whole politics thing. Because Hillary Clinton is using her female manipulation to get elected.
Her feminine wiles, if you will.
Yeah. Somebody thinks she's hot. I believe it.
Yeah, she was once.
Yeah, somebody thought that once.
No, picture she was like in college. She was actually like, I mean, I guess if you like that whole beehive look. Not for me.
I like the beehive look. Yeah. I like older women. And the beehive look is a thing that's synonymous with older women.
Yeah.
Kind of like shaved heads.
Then why do you not find Hillary Clinton attractive?
It's her personality. I don't like her on a deeper level. Her insides are ugly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a horrible, horrible person.
In a lot of ways. In ways I can't even put into words.
That's interesting.
You ever just get a feeling about somebody, like an awful, terrible feeling?
Sure, but I don't think I could get a feeling like that off somebody that I've never physically had contact with, met, been this close to.
What about Satan?
What about Satan?
I mean, if you believed in Satan, would you feel like Satan was an awful, evil person?
Well, I guess. But that's just because of the war. That's what we're conditioned to think.
Exactly.
So you view Hillary Clinton in much the same way you view Satan?
Yes. I don't see very much difference.
Well, they never said the Antichrist would be a male.
Exactly. That's another way that they just slide that bias. Maybe she is the Antichrist.
Maybe Trump's the Antichrist.
No, Trump is not the Antichrist.
Oh, he could be. Actually, he fits the criteria more than Hillary.
In which ways?
In his rise to power.
Which is?
What he's doing right now. And how we've known about Trump forever. Like, I've known who Trump was since, the 80s, since I was a kid, since I was young enough to even give a shit.
That's why he makes sense. How long have you known about Bernie Sanders?
A few months.
Exactly.
Ted Cruz, same thing.
None of those people. Only one that you know about is Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And we know Hillary Clinton is terrible. Donald Trump, not so much. What do we know about Donald Trump, if you really think about it? From historically, what do you know about Donald Trump?
You want me to list individual things that I know about?
Just the main thing, like what he's known for, like what you think of Donald Trump when you think Donald Trump.
Gambling, personally.
How do you feel about gambling?
I'm not a fan, but I don't, it's not like I think it ruins lives. I guess I can in some situations, but I'm not the kind of person that's going to be boycotting it or anything.
Okay.
Never had a problem with it, but it's whatever. Entertainment.
Okay. What else do we know about Donald Trump?
He marries hot models. He's done it a couple of times.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's pretty cool.
I think that's pretty cool too.
Oh my God, are you leading me or for to be a Trump supporter? Or
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He dates hot models. I like hot models. That's something
It doesn't make him a good person. I mean,
but it makes something that we have in common. We're listing a commonalities list.
okay.
He has a lot of money.
Yeah, he does have a lot of money.
Would you like to have a lot of money?
Of course, who wouldn't?
Me too. That's what I'm saying. Hot models, a lot of money, a nice house in New York. Would you like a nice house in New York?
Nah, I'm not really a New York guy.
Me neither. But I'd like to have one just to say that I had one. I might visit it occasionally.
Sure.
If I could just have an extra house in New York, I would take it.
Yeah. If somebody were to give me the keys and say, it's yours, free, don't worry about it, sure, I'd take it. And I'd probably go visit it for a little while.
Now, what do we know about Hillary Clinton?
She was married to Bill Clinton. That's about it.
She was
that I know.
She was in politics. She was a senator or something.
Was she?
Yeah,
Yeah, but not until after, right?
yeah. That's about all we know about her.
Yeah.
I mean, how else can we relate to her? She doesn't have anything that I want.
Her husband cheated on her. That's one thing that everybody can pretty much relate to.
Being cheated on. But that's like a negative thing I'd like to forget. Like, I don't want to share that in common with her. I like to move on from that to the next hot model.
Right.
I'm sure Donald Trump was cheated on at some point in time.
Yeah.
And he moved on to the next hot model.
Right.
I still relate to Donald Trump.
To
more.
America's next top model.
That's what I'm saying. That's brilliant. He made his own show, his own pageant, just to meet more models. I would do that. I would so do that if I had the opportunity.
Start a beauty pageant.
If I could meet more models, yes.
Hey.
That sounds. That's what I'm saying. Everything about Trump. If I was rich and white, I would be Donald Trump. Like, it's like Donald Trump and Hugh Hefner. Like, they're up there together, in my opinion. If I was gonna be rich, old, and white.
Rich, old, and white.
Yeah.
Rich, old, and white.
But I would never want to be Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Never. Not even a little bit.
You'd want to be Bill Clinton?
Yes. Yes, I
But you'd have to be married to her. You'd have to live with the bitch.
But he didn't have to sleep with her all the time, obviously. You know what I'm saying? He had friends.
So you think
And
they have some
interns.
kind of an arrangement?
She didn't leave.
Yeah. True. Always wondered about that.
And I've always wondered about that too.
I'm sure all Americans wonder about that.
I wonder if Bill Clinton still has interns. Like, is there a new like clause for his interns? Like, how does he work that out?
Outgoing presidents get 3 interns a year.
Yeah, I need an intern.
God damn. Always the most inopportune times too, I tell you.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's hilarious, but it's just like when I'm sitting, in my daughter's principal's office. It does that while I'm trying to be mad. It just doesn't work,
Maybe there's no reason to be mad. I'm saying, like, I know this sounds strange, but like the powers that be want us to be mad. They want us to get mad about things.
Why?
I don't know. I really don't know, because they want us to be mad. They don't want us to be happy and enjoy life. They try to take our joy away.
Well, that's like a slave driver mentality. You can't let them be happy or content, or they won't work hard.
I mean, we're kind of slaves. Under this current.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, I feel like we are slaves, really. We're not much higher than slaves. All of us. And it ties back into the race thing. I don't feel like I'm any more of a slave than anybody else or any less of a slave than anybody else. We're all equally slaves.
Yeah, you stand next to it. You can see that. Slaves. White slavery. Why do they call it white slavery? I never understood that.
They just created that. They just created it. The race thing doesn't really exist.
So they can make it seem worse than
Yes,
slavery?
that's what I'm saying. The whole white-black thing never really existed before too long ago. Yeah, before we were just people.
Yeah.
We should imagine if we were just people.
Yeah, imagine. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just unrealistic.
Why?
I don't know. People are just conditioned that way. By the way,